I'm in the gym, it's freezing cold, and I'm here to make sure that my brain doesn't rot away. So Rowie, what's the gym got to do with your brain? How about everything? If you could maintain a healthy, strong, tough, mentally tough body and brain for the rest of your life versus get old, fat, sick, weak, depressed, frail, and live the last part of your life as a miserable, grumpy old person, which would you choose? And I think it sounds like a really stupid question. But most human beings that live on the planet right now, the last 20 years of their life will be pretty ordinary. They will have challenges with their brain, their memory, being able to think clearly. They'll be either fat or weak and frail. They'll be diseased. They'll have old people's diseases, which now younger people or young people are getting old people's diseases and younger. And none of that sounds exciting to me. So I'm in my freezing cold gym, exercising really hard because I'm an old lady who wants to stay healthy, fit and strong and mentally aware and mentally healthy and mentally tough and strong for the rest of my life. So how do you do that in the gym? And it's a really simple process. I've been studying neuroscience for a very long time, studying the brain. And it sounds important, but here's my question. You're going to live in this body for the rest of your life and your brain controls your body. So I very excitingly will share with you that I have seen people, met people, experienced people who are over 100 and they're still living with great quality of life. They're still working, they're still dancing, they're still playing their sport, they're still making love to their partner. They're still mentally aware and they're certainly still living at home. They're not in some retirement village getting old. So it's possible to stay young and strong and healthy and have a healthy brain for all of your life. But the reason I study neuroscience and the reason that what inspired me to start, excuse me, I get excited on this topic. My father died of Alzheimer's and I share that because he was told, I was told, the rest of the family was told that was inevitable. When you get old, your brain rots away. To me, that didn't make any sense because I'm an exercise professional and every cell in your body rejuvenates, regenerates. You can make new ones, so why can't you make new brain cells? And the neuroscientist simply said to me, you can't. The brain doesn't regenerate. Once you've lost brain cells, that's it. Until they discovered neurogenesis, which is your brain's capability of creating, regenerating, making new cells. And then there's neuroplasticity, which is your body's or your brain's ability with the fit, strong body to be able to change the way you think. So that began a very exciting journey for me. I've got to live in my body for the rest of my life and I'm going to use my brain for the rest of my life. So I want to study how that all works together so that I can say, and I'll share again and I'll rephrase, do you want to stay healthy, fit, strong, lean, energetic, and have a healthy brain for all of your life? And I hope the answer is yes, because the reverse is fat, sick, weak, diseased, frail, and mentally weak. And I just don't want that for anybody. So what's the gym got to do with it? Well, there's a beautiful system in the body called the fight and flight system, and you probably learnt about it very early in high school. When your body's under threat, when you are your body thinks it's going to die, when it's under a massive challenge, your body goes into fight or flight mode. So all the chemicals in your body work together to make sure that you can get away from the threat, because the purpose of the hormonal system, of the endocrine system, is that you stay alive, and not just stay alive, but thrive so that you can reproduce. Now, obviously, when you're as old as I am, there's no reproducing going on anymore, but I want to still thrive. I want to feel fantastic. I don't want to get old and frail. So when you get into that fight and flight mode, the chemicals that are produced, epinephrine, adrenaline, cortisol, the whole catecholamine system, which is the system designed to keep you alive, the hormones designed to keep you alive and thrive. The reason you thrive after you've produced those chemicals is when you overcome a threat. So if you fight or flight, so if you sprint away from the threat, if you get away from it, or if you turn and fight and kill it, you now need to be rewarded in your endocrine system. The hormones in your body say, congratulations, you got away from the threat. So now we're going to fill you up with dopamine, which is a reward neurotransmitter, serotonin, which makes you feel good about your life, satisfied with your life. I didn't die, so I need to be satisfied that I'm still alive. Woohoo! Your body produces endorphins, which are pain-killing, neurotransmitting happy drugs. So not only do they make you feel good, but they kill pain. And then these amazing things called cannabinoids. And I get excited about those because a lot of people get a doctor's prescription to get some kind of pharmaceutical marijuana. But your body produces cannabinoids, which is what's in marijuana, in dope, all by itself when you're in the fight and flight system. So when you get into under threat and then you overcome the threat, your body not only produces everything you need to get away from the threat, then makes you feel good afterwards, but it produces brain-derived neurotropic factor, which is a fertilizer for all of those systems. Simply meaning, if you get under threat again by the same wild animal, the same wild tribe, the same threat, you've got to be better for next time, because what if the threat's bigger next time? What if you have to run faster? What if you have to fight harder? So brain-derived neurotropic factor makes all of that work better. The other one that's really exciting in the endocrine system is a myokine, which is a message from your muscle back to the brain, your muscle to your heart, your muscle to all the other surrounding muscles, that we've got to be better for next time. It's a simple explanation for why we get fitter and stronger. But it also, that brain-derived neurotropic factor produces neurogenesis. So whatever's gone wrong with your brain, and that's a thing that happened with my father. He was diagnosed with Alzheimer's. Not necessarily did he have Alzheimer's, but because he was starting to forget things, people said, oh, you're an old guy, obviously your brain's running away, there's nothing we can do about it. So they stuck him in a room, took away all the stimulation. He certainly was no longer an active human being. But when I talk about exercise, I'm not talking about going for a walk or doing some low impact exercise or doing some easy thing. You've got to put your body under threat, you've got to put your body under stress. When you're under threat and stress and you overcome the threat and stress, now you produce all those chemicals that keep you young and strong and mentally tough. And the only system in your body, excuse me again because I get really excited, the only system in your body, because there's 3 energy systems. We live in the aerobic system, which is breathe in oxygen, breathe out carbon dioxide, and we live there all the time, so there's no overload there. The lactate system, which is there's a waste product there, unfortunately, which causes your muscles to burn and makes some people feel sick. And it's the system that lasts from the 10-second mark to about the 2 to 3 minute mark. And you can go really hard in the lactate system, but a lot of people don't like to exercise there or move there because of that burning sensation, because some people feel sick. But the 100% effort system, the only energy system in your body where you can actually go at 100% effort, the fight and flight system to get away from the threat, is the phosphate system. And it only lasts for 10 seconds. So the really good news there is to produce adrenaline, epinephrine, cortisol, catecholamines to get away from the threat, then dopamine, serotonin, cannabinoids, endorphins, brain-derived neurotropic factor, all of those wow chemicals. To produce all of that, it only takes 10 seconds. It's 10 seconds of intense activity. You've got to get puffed. You've got to overload every muscle and bone in your body. You've got to overload your heart and lungs. But it's only 10 seconds. To me, that's really exciting. From a lady that's exercised all of my life for hours and hours and hours, who's got hours and hours and hours? It's the number one excuse that people use for not exercising. But your body's designed for that system. Your body's designed to keep you out of threat, to overcome challenges, to run away from things that are trying to kill you, to handle the big challenges that life throws at us. That's what that system's for. The phosphate system, 10 seconds of intense activity. So I'm going to wrap all of that up. If you want to have a strong brain, if you want to grow new brain cells, if you want to change the way you think, if you want to be more creative, if you want to have a faster metabolism, if you want to have good posture, if you want to have strong muscles and bones, if you want to have a strong heart and lung system, all you've got to do is work at intense activity, 100% effort for 10 seconds. Overload all the muscles and bones in your body, overload your heart and lungs. You'll get fitter and you'll get stronger and you'll get mentally tougher. You'll regrow brain cells that you might have lost because you had an accident or you drank too much or you took too many drugs. You can regrow your brain cells. It's called neurogenesis. And if you don't like the way you think because you've got a negative attitude or you treat people badly or you're a gossip or a critic or you're just not a very nice person, you can change the way you think by neuroplasticity, all coming from getting fitter and stronger. Not from going for a walk, not from doing light weights in the gym, but high intense activity in the phosphate system for 10 seconds, 100% effort. You can get physically fit, physically strong, mentally tough, and regrow brain cells that you've lost and change the way you think. To me, that's a really great reason to come into the gym at night when it's freezing cold and to exercise really hard, which is what I'm going to do now. So not only am I going to get cold, I'm going to take off my warm jacket because I want to be cold. The beautiful thing about the human body, when it gets really hot or really cold, it's put under stress. And of course, stress creates all of those chemicals, which makes you tougher and stronger. So if you want to be tougher and stronger, get puffed to get fit, lift heavy to get strong, and put your body under stress so that you can learn to overcome it. Live your life to the max. Woohoo!